Fresh IE is in the house. Robert Wilson, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. I would love to hear. Now, I've been seeing you, you've been so active again. We've got an album release around the corner. Would you mind sharing more about this
Yeah.
upcoming album?
Well, the long way past. It's supposed to come out April 22nd, but there's always these deadlines that get pushed because production and post production stuff. So the new album, The Wind and the Waves, is dropping on May the 20th, which is the next Friday, which is really exciting. It's a week away, so we're pretty excited over here.
Absolutely. How many songs are on it?
It's 14 songs, including the single "The Wind and the Waves." Obviously, that's the title track. And yeah, it's an experience for sure. I've shared a couple of sneak peeks with some friends across Canada just get some perspective and advice, and it was just all good feedback from them. So that's my green light to go.
That's fantastic. Was there a theme for this album?
Yeah, the whole album is themed around the experience of when God calls us to go to the other side. If God calls us to get into the boat, we're gonna get to the other side. Like there's always these storms and these things that come in, in between that will try to uh, take our focus away from making it to where God has called us to. So this whole album is themed around just making it through storms and through hardships and always remembering God's promises, no matter how much failure or doubt or loss we have, that there's something on the other side that's far more greater than our setbacks. And as a matter of fact, the storm is actually there to the problem is there to help the solution. You know what I mean? Like it's there to help make us better than who we were yesterday. Just like Job, who lost everything he had, and in the end, he ended up better than who he was before. So so yeah, the whole album is it's incredible. There's a lot of cinematic transitions and cool stuff like that. So
Very exciting. We can't wait to hear the whole thing. Obviously, CHBN loves to
mhm.
play Wind in the Waves, and it's been so welcomed and received well.
That's
Asante
awesome to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Asante Street Festival is coming up. Um, I would love to know with a street festival, uh, tell us a little bit more about this event and why you perform events like this.
I think when I first started doing music, in doing Christian music and doing ministry, it was always focused on community, building up the inner city, the young people, keeping an ear to the heart and the core of our city because that's where if we want to know if God is moving, we look to the core. It works in the core and works its way out. And so to be able to go back into where I started and getting back into community development and going into to youth groups. I'm getting ready to go into do some prison work and stuff like that to just get back to the core fundamentals of how I started and what I stood for from the get go. It's awesome to be able to be a part of something like this where it's out in the streets and it's the whole community is going to be able to hear in the West End, and so that's really cool. I love doing stuff like that.
I love your heart for youth and to be authentic. I think it really translates. You
Mm.
have
Amen.
you have a song you produced that's on a movie? Tell us more about this.
Oh yes, I wanted to be able to share more at this moment, but we're still working contractual stuff.
I
But
see.
this
I see.
it's actually a feature film. It's a motion picture, and it's actually a song that I produced, and it's actually a remix of one of the Eagle songs. So it's really Hotel California.
Yep.
So it's a remix that I produced for a DJ, and I got a message from my DJ buddy that it got placed into a film, and so he's just working on the details. So he said, don't share too much right now because he's still working on details right now. But once
Oh,
I know the title of the movie and everything, we'll get a chance to share that with you guys for sure.
that sounds great. Like I said, we're so excited about this upcoming album. Are you doing any sort of release thing for it? Is this more of a quieter thing? What's happening?
Yeah, well, the album's dropping on next Friday, but I'm actually doing a big event that's coming up in July at the Goldeye Stadium. And I wish I had the title of it so I could share it, but I don't have it here with me. But it's a huge event. It's a huge harvest event. Ministry from the West Coast is coming and doing an event with Summit Sounds out of Edmonton and a bunch of other ministries. And it's just going to be a huge outreach for Canada Day at the Goldeye Stadium. So we want to do something around that time to be able to do like a CD release party and do a concert and just celebrate the album with a full band. And so we're working on that too.
That sounds amazing. Well, when you have full details, let us know and we will share that with our
I
listeners.
will. And I wish I had more information for that, but I'm just getting out of studio mode, being able to shave. I mean, I haven't shaved. I shave now finally, but when you get in studio mode, you can not shave for like 2 weeks. Then you go in the mirror one day and you're like, oh my goodness, I gotta shave. So, but yeah,
You put your head
time to
down
get
and
back onto
work,
the
right?
world. What's that?
You put your head down and you get to work, right? And now it's like, okay, breath
Exactly.
air.
Yep. I feel
Well,
like I feel like I feel like Forrest Gump when he started running and didn't stop running for 2 years or something. I just ran and ran. You know what I mean? That's what this album done to me.
oh, that's so good. One last question, if you don't mind. I would love to hear, what are you hoping people take away from this album when they're listening to your songs?
I really hope that it really encourages people who feel exhausted and tired and weary and you know even just some. I know there's some of us who, even though the pandemic has slowed down a lot now and we're getting back to normal, but there's still some who are still like low on energy and just fighting hard to get back into the swing of things again. And I really hope that this album will just lift up their spirits and encourage them that there's so much great things ahead. You know, no matter what temporary things that are going on in our lives, that those are temporary things that in a couple years we won't even be worrying about or have anxiety about. But sometimes we turn our anthill into a mountain and allow the enemy to to take over our mind and God lives in our hearts. So as long as we guard our hearts, what I'm saying, allow God to be God in our lives, and there's gonna be some great things down the road for us. So I want it to encourage everybody to keep moving forward, pushing through.
That's fantastic. Can't wait to hear the whole album. Thank you so much for taking the time. Fresh, it's been a delight as always.
Thank you, Sylvia. Be blessed.